All right, so we've got Darryl, who's come over from Manchester here today. Been in 19 different prisons, served over 12 years. We're talking knife crime, we're talking gang activity, hardcore Manchester. And at the end of it, we'll get to the work he's doing now, speaking in the schools. If you are out there and you're a school teacher or you are a student and you want Darryl to come into your school, in the description box below this video are going to be all the links, including how to get in touch with Darryl so you can get him booked into your school. So thanks for coming on, Darryl.
Thanks for having me.
We're going to start at the beginning then. What part of Manchester are we talking?
I'm from Moss Side.
Moss Side.
M16.
We used to score there, didn't we?
Yeah.
When we were like raving back in 89, 1991 around then, we used to like go the Thunderdome and the Conspiracy, all those clubs. We'd go through those neighbourhoods.
The kitchen, the empty flats there.
The boring.
Yeah.
So what was that like for you then, growing up in Manchester?
It was all right, to be honest. I like Manchester. I like Liverpool better though. But yeah, it was all right. I'd come up from a broken home, so obviously it had its downs. But in all lifestyles, you have your ups, you have your downs. So I went through a lot of domestic violence as a young kid. From domestic violence, grew into my teens, went onto the streets and got involved in one of the deadliest wars of this country's generation, gang warfare.
And was that Gunchester? Was that what they call that?
Yeah, I was one of the people, one of the instigators when it was changed from Manchester to Gunchester in the press, so to speak. So I was one of the instigators. I was a known gunman.
What year are we talking about when that kicked off?
Like 1989.
That's exactly when we were raving, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So the guy I live with was a rave DJ out of LA when I met him, and he's from Manchester originally. And he was going to the Hacienda and all these other clubs as well. And he laid it down that it started out with the ecstasy scene, and the gangsters started seeing all the money being made in the ecstasy. And then this war broke out over the Doors, because the Doors controls the drugs.
Yeah, it wasn't, the war that I was involved in was nothing to do with that. First, you had a war, Moss Side against Cheetah Mill, Salford, Moss Side, Salford, that kind of thing. But my war started, I come on the back of the late Moss Side, Cheetah Mill. And after that, it was Dodderton against Gooch, which was Pepperell to begin with, because I was from a place called Pepperell. And then years later, the name changed to Doddington. So my main war was with the Gooch.
All right, so a lot of people watching this, they're in America. They don't know what all these terms mean. Can you just explain who the Moss Side gang is and these other gangs, what they are, what they represent?
In Moss Side, there is two estates, both next to each other, both called the Alexander Park Estate. One side was Doddington territory, one side was Gooch territory. There was just one road that split us into two, called Alexander Road. We had a war. The war went on for over 20 years. There's different reasons why people say the war started, but I grew into the war, so I'm not here to say why it started, but I was willing to kill and be killed to support my brothers in arms. Back then, I thought they was my brothers. I thought they was my mates, they was my family, and along the lines, you see that they ain't your family.
So you said you're like this hardcore soldier then, but going back earlier, what was the first stuff you started to do that was criminal activity?
I used to ride stolen motorbikes when I was 10, 11, 12, then 13, heroin and crack at Moss Side in a big way. So I used to be a runner for some people. So I started, where most started selling weed, I started selling bags of brown. You know, it used to be £15 for a quarter, and I used to sell a 15 bag and get a £5 out of the 15.
Swell people nickel and diming it with the fucking weed, you're making the decent money, aren't you?
Yeah, as long as you was out for early in the morning, because the early bird that catches the worm in this game, you need to catch people when they're rattling. So I was always up and out at 6, 7 o'clock before school. Even though I wasn't in school, I was in a project by that time.
So you're like a corner boy. Well,
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Like
that you would call them corner boys
Yeah.
in a different country, a foot soldier in a
Yeah.
different country, yeah.
How did it escalate from dealing to violence?
The elders had an argument because we all used to go round together. We was all friends. We went to school and that together, lots of us. A lot of us stayed at each other's houses, believe it or not. Some elders had a little tit for tat. I'm not going to go into what it was over, but we felt obliged to stick with the elders from our estate rather than go with the elders from the other estate. And
So you just picked your fence and that's it.
yeah, that road divided us, even though we had friends and family on the opposite side of the estate. From the war started.
Now, was it that bad where your friends and family couldn't come round to yours?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't that bad. It was just life. I don't see it as being bad. Do you know? I just see it as
but your family from the other side could actually come and see you.
Yeah.
Without them getting...
A lot of people telling to pick sides. Like if somebody from over that side was seen talking to me, they'd get a beating. And if I'd seen someone that I knew talking to people over the other side of the estate, they'd get a beating.
Yeah. So you watch who you talk to, in other words.
Yeah, but I'm one of them people. I do what I want, when I want, and how I want. And that's most probably, my brazenness is most probably why I survived, where a lot of people didn't survive. You know, over 30 friends and family of mine died. And don't forget, over the other side, they was originally my friends. A lot of them died also.
So you lost more generally because you knew them both.
Exactly, and you know what a lot of people think, because I might kill 10 people and you might kill 1 people, that I've won the war. There's no winners in war.
No.
We're both losers. In 1991, me and my friend went to get something to eat in a bakery. 2 of us went in there. 1 of us come out. My mate was gunned down inside the bakery.
Wow. Didn't even wait for him to get out?
Nah, killed him inside the bakery.
That's ruthless, that, like, isn't it?
But that's life, innit? That was war. Do you know it's kill or be killed? Or it was back then.
So how did you go then from just the dealing level and the violence at the lower level to getting access to the guns?
Obviously, they come from the elders to begin with. And then when you become established yourself, you find your own contacts and that to buy, purchase your firearms, your ammunition, your vests.
Because it's a huge surprise to the Americans. Where we were in Arizona, guns were legal. So I had like a shotgun for home protection, I had a Glock. I went off and got a concealed weapons permit. So the police actually train you in shooting, and then you get your concealed weapons permit. How easy was it for you to get these guns then?
It was...
The police don't train you, let's put it that way.
They just got handed down from the elders, is that what you said?
Yeah, to begin with, it got that handed down from the elders, and then you just went and purchased your own. You knew, everybody knew where to, everybody in this kind of work knew where to get what and what price to pay. So it was just like, it's just like natural progression through the
You don't know what
life.
numbers are on that gun though, do you? You don't know who it's killed, or if the police get hold of it, you could be up for 5 murders you didn't fucking do.
Exactly there. And when I work in schools and I tell kids, you'll never get a clean gun in this country.
No.
Do you know? And if you're arrested with a gun that's been used, you might not get charged with it or convicted, but you're definitely going to get questioned for it. And if you don't keep a diary, you're not got an alibi of where you was when something happens, but you never get a clean gun on the streets of this country.
How old were you when you first handled a gun, and how did that make you feel?
I was 14. An elder gave me a gun and he asked me to do something with it, but the person didn't turn up. If the person would have turned up, I would have done what he asked me to do with it, because I felt like I was a big man, not that I had a gun.
Did they give you any kind of training in it to use it or
No,
anything?
did they? Just give me a 357 and says, use it on this person. Someone was going to come to the Pepperhill for a meeting and they didn't turn up.
So say they gave you that gun and he had turned up, and I assume, I know you would have done it, But say in a different scenario, you would have bottled it. What would have happened to you from the elders?
Them also would have used that gun on me.
Really?
Most probably, yeah.
Wow. So as you're rising up the ranks then, what stories have you got of, I know you imagine you probably got a lot, but what could you describe in more detail of the life-threatening situations you were in?
I've been in a number of
Don't
life.
self-incriminate yourself,
Without
by the
any
way.
names or any
I've been in
self-incrimination.
a number of life-threatening situations, having people trying to kill me over 70 times. There's been a lot of
70 times.
People have tried to kill me on a lot more than 70 times, but we'll leave it at 70 times. But on 3 of them occasions, I have been shot. The first time, I'm going to be honest, the first time I was going to a food shop and I just put down my gun for the night because I used to carry my gun everywhere.
Yeah.
And I just put it down, hid it in a place for the night. 5 minutes later, pulling up next to this shop, riding through a park, and someone jumped out from behind a tree and started letting off after me. I had a bike. I let the bike roll towards him, turn around, and I got shot underneath my foot, come out the side of my leg.
Yeah.
As I was running, made it round 2 corners, couldn't make it no more.
Also, it must be pretty hard to fucking run with a bullet in your fucking foot.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty painful.
Yeah, scary as fuck too. Like,
it is
butterflies going.
It is pretty painful, but you know what? Every time I've been shot, I've been going towards the people, so that's most of what made me survive.
Yeah.
The second time I got shot, I was released in the morning. I was being questioned for a murder, and I got released without charge. My mate got charged with it. I got released, and I thought because this significant person had been killed, it'd be safe for me to go around because he used to be my mate. I had nothing to do with it, but there was like some in-house fighting.
Yeah.
So I just thought it'd be safe for me to go anywhere. Nobody ain't brave enough to fuck with me. But little did I know, people was brave enough. Do you know what I mean? You think you're the big bad I am, and you're untouchable when certain people go. But
Well, the higher you go, the more young bucks are wanting they're seeing you dress right, they're seeing you look good, they're seeing your car, and they want some of that, don't they?
definitely, it's like it was a younger element that tried to kill me, and I was shot over 20 times on that occasion. And a girl was shot, come from a pub. My mate asked me 5 minutes before, could he give me a lift home? And I was saying, no, I was giving it a big no one ain't brave enough to fuck with me, drunk and all that, giving it the big end. So I walked through the estate, and little did I know that somebody had already phoned them up to tell them that I was in this pub and I was walking on the way back. So I approached the corner and I seen him, and I held out my hands and says, what? Thinking they wouldn't do nothing.
Yeah.
And as you can see through the scars on my arms, they shot me in my arms, my chest, my back. I had a vest on, so it took some of the bullets.
So sounds stupid.
And then
they weren't trying to kill you.
they
Didn't
was
go for
trying,
no headshot.
They was trying to kill me. A bullet glanced off the side of my head here.
Wow.
They tried to kill me because I dropped. I threw the girl on the floor that I was with. She got shot twice. And I was lay on the floor and they were still pumping him into me. And one of them come close to my head, and he must have thought he shot me in the head because a bullet skinned off my head, and that's when they got off. There's blood. That's the only one I was worried about. I was still conscious. And when I got up, there's pure blood in my eye and down my face, and I thought that was it.
How long were you in hospital after that one?
I was only in hospital for about a week and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the last time I got shot, I was speaking to some girls outside a club, about 50 feet away from the first ever time I got shot. And I seen my mate down the road, and he was going like that, waving away, but I thought he was saying, come here.
Oh,
so
right,
I started walking to him.
He's telling you no, go.
Yeah, because he'd seen the people, so I start walking to him, and he had bop, 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 bop. And I got one in my leg then. That's still in there. I got one in the leg, and that caused me some damage. I was in hospital for about 9 months for that. I got MRSA when I was in hospital, which is a flesh-eating infection.
Oh, that massive shit.
Yeah, so
Ooh.
I had 9 months, I had an external fixator, I had inside pins, but they took the pins out. I had an external fixator for about 18 months, and that bullet's still in there.
At that time, didn't you think, you know what, fuck this, I'm off to live abroad?
Nah, because you know what? After seeing my friend get killed, I vowed to avenge his death, and I vowed to do this until it took my life or all of them was dead. I was willing, that's how far I was willing to go. Nowadays, you don't get loyalty like we did in the old school
No, I was going to say.
era. You know, I tell kids nowadays, your mates ain't going to kill for you. They're not going to die for you. They're not going to go jail for a life sentence.
You will tell the police on you, though.
Exactly. But I'm one of them people that I would have died for any of my mates, even though was they really mates? Because one of them did phone up the people to say I was on my way back from that pub. But you know what? That's in the past, and it is what it is, innit? The dynamics of life have brought me.
Yeah,
to
but
the
you couldn't
person
have
I
a
am.
drink with that guy, could you, without looking in his eyes and wanting to kill him, could you?
I've spoke to him since.
Oh, I'd hate me.
I spoke to him since, but you know what? We can't. If we live in 8, then we're not going to fix this broken world, are we? Because there's a lot of people that
It takes a bigger man to do that, like.
It does, but there's a lot of people can say that about me and some of the crimes that I've committed. Not going to go into it, but
Yeah.
there's still people that will hold grudges against me, but leave it for the sake of leaving it and having a peaceful life.
At least you can sleep at ease at night.
I don't know about that, but I don't know about that. I struggle sleeping, but it is what it is, innit? And I'm alive and I'm able to tell my story, use my negative past to educate people on a positive future.
So how does Salford come into it?
Salford, I don't really have any dealings with the Salford and
Yeah.
Moss Side thing, do you know? I have some friends from Salford, but back then there was tensions with everybody, to be honest. But nowadays there's no tensions with Salford or Moss Side. Obviously Salford's got their own thing going on. But I did have some friends in Salford, and
There always seems to be aggro in Salford, though. Even now, there's always something going on.
I can't speak on Salford. I'm from Moss Side. I'm from the heart of Manchester. Salford.
It's not even Manchester, is
exactly. They will tell you they're Salfordians.
Yeah.
You know, the Red Army and all that. But yeah, I don't have no issues with nobody in Salford.
No.
Don't have issues with anybody in Cheetah Mill. I don't have any issues with anybody from the Gooch. Obviously, there's people that don't like me, and there's people I dislike, but I don't hate nobody no more.
Who are the main heads from the Gooch again?
And the main heads from the Gooch. Now, the Gooch is gone now, but
Back then.
my rivals was the Piggies and the Cabos, Joyce and Amos. They was my rivals.
Yeah.
Do you know? Not that they ever done anything or I ever done anything to them, but you know, they're the ones that everybody talks about.
So they were you had your elders, they were the youngsters' elders.
They was like my era.
Yeah.
But I'd had beef with their elders as well because I thought I was a man before the time, but I'm not gonna go into any names of them elders. Do you know? But I did have beef with them.
People who were around the time know it, and if people weren't, they don't need to know it, do they?
Nah.
You know what I mean?
They knew that I had beef with them, and I knew they had beef with me. And
Yeah.
you know, the past is in the past. They might see this and think they might think something else, but it is what it is, innit? Do you know? You
can walk up with your head held up high, can't you?
Yeah,
Anywhere
I
around
know.
Manchester.
Yeah, I know that I won't ever pick up a gun again.
No.
Do you know? I'm not gonna say nobody ain't gonna try and kill me again because it's possible.
I don't think they will, not now.
I hope not, but anything's possible.
Let me touch you wood on it.
Anything's possible.
So a lot of people, especially the Americans, are fascinated by the prison experience in this country then. What was your first arrest that sent you to prison?
First arrest was got in a fight in town. There was a gun there. Somebody got caught with a gun. I didn't get caught with a gun. I got arrested a few hours later because the person who I was fighting with said I was there. And obviously, police had a gun and they had to find a gun. They found the gun with the person. So I got arrested and charged with possession of a firearm with intent to endanger life. Done a few months on remand. Found not guilty in the end. The person with the gun pleaded guilty. But when I first went to jail, it was a place called Inley. I was 18. And jail was jail then. I don't know if people have been to jail nowadays in England. It's not jail. When I landed,
It's like a holiday camp now. Well, I see some of these shows, like, I watched that one from they're in Jersey and stuff. They got like PlayStations and they get fucking fed decent scran and everything, you know what I mean?
yeah, when I went to jail, you was given a jug.
Yeah.
There was no toilets. You was given a jug and shown where the sluice was.
I did
So-
Walton in 91 and it was like that, exactly the same as that. I
Yeah,
was on H Block and it was just a fucking, you shit in a bucket and in the morning you slopped it out.
yeah, slop out. People don't know about that nowadays. But regardless of jail, jail is jail.
Yeah.
You're away from your loved ones. A lot of people say it's easier because you got a TV and a PlayStation and things like that, but you're still away from your loved ones.
But you can call them now, can't you, on your little fucking mobiles?
Yeah, throughout the years I was caught with a couple of mobiles in jail, but it is what it is.
Have you seen the size of them now? Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Mad that. I reckon I can hoot 4 or 5 of them. No fucking problem, no, I mean.
So yeah, jail was